Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another Transformers review. I've got the T Spark 40th anniversary repaint of MPM-3, their 2007 Bumblebee, with a nice paint on them. Box, nothing special, just Bumblebee. If you've had MPM-3, then you know what this is. The only difference is the paint. I don't know if there's any mold details that are not as good now as they were originally. But there is the packaging, and there is the car. And then, of course, just the instructions. That's all he comes with. No card or anything like that. And he comes with his blaster. So, looking at it, though, it's a little bit more orange than my lighting setup is picking up. I'm looking at the camera, looking at the car, and yeah, the camera makes it look yellow. The car is orange. Maybe it'll show up a little bit better during the size comparisons. You can kind of see it there. So, he's got all black paint for the grills, gold for the emblem, transparent for the headlights, silver for the fog lights. The vehicle mode itself, fully painted, rims are painted. The little brake calipers in there, if you look really, really closely, they have a tiny dab of silver paint on them. Handle, the stripes. Of course, everything back here is all fully painted. I translated and then of course, the bot mode is also going to be painted. We'll see that. Take out his blaster now. God, that snapped in there tight, didn't it? And the blaster also painted. You can even see the overspray here. Just some yellow and silver. It looks good. Got a little bit of color breakup. The color looks great. I never had MPM-3, and I thought about getting a knockoff just so I could have one, and then I heard this guy was coming out, the repaint, so I'm like, oh, I'll just wait for the official. So here it is. It does have the same issue that the original had here, where you can kind of teeter-totter this easily. I know MGO mentioned tightening a screw behind here. I've just not done that yet. I literally got it 4 hours ago. So I'll do that after the video. Or maybe during transformation. So he does roll. And other than that, no real features or gimmicks in vehicle mode. So I've shown you the one accessory. Let's do some size comparisons here. And here is Brave Troops Toys Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. So I know he's massively oversized, but still, I got a 77 Camaro and an 07 Camaro. Look at that, there they go. And then here is Transcraft Bumblebee. So, you know, a little bit longer, of course, a little bit shorter. So there's that. And then G1 MPM-21 Bumblebee. And MPM-21 is a tad bit more orange than MPM-3 here. You can kind of see it on camera how this is just a lot more orange than he is, but he is still more orange than it's picking up. That is weird. Same settings on the camera as I always have, so I don't know. Might just be the lighting. But there he is. There's really not a lot to him, especially since he's just a repaint of a existing Masterpiece figure. It's really just all the paint. So I think I heard that the stripe details might be a little bit better, but yeah. So that's really it in bot mode, alt mode. So since that's about it for alt mode, let's go ahead and get down to transformation, which if you have MPM-3, then you know what we're getting into. So easy enough. So first thing, we'll go ahead and open up the doors, fold them all the way forward. There we go. Got that little slider in the door there. All right. And I'm just going to go off of what the instructions say, which next thing they want you to take these and bring these forward. There we go. Let's get all that forward. There we go. All right. And then we'll get the arms. You're just untabbing them because they have a, let's see, yeah, that window is a little too smoky to show you. They just have this slot. Yeah, you can see the yellow paint there on the arm for the tab under there. So there's not much holding them in. All right, I'll lift them up, bring the wheels out, lift these up, and then I can rotate these out. So I'm going to rotate at the shoulder joint and then flip them up. There we go. All right, we are getting there. Next, I'm going to split the back. There we go. And get all of this out. Lift up on all this. Bring the windshield back a little so that I can fold it up. There we go. Then I'll fold the license plate area in. So it's like that. And fold that in, and I'll let that hang out for 1 second. We're going to flip the hood around. You want to flip it down at the front so the head comes around the back. Get that in place. And now I'll go ahead and finish with the hood, the roof assembly. There we go. Get that in place. Should have it looking right about like that. This piece will be more or less up and down. Then you'll fold this. You've got a slot here in the die-cast arm for this slot in the plastic. Let me just give that a little bit of a squeeze. Bring this down. And now I'm going to go ahead and stretch out the legs before I go any further. So get this piece untabbed if it isn't already. And let's see what to do first. This piece I'll flip up on both sides because it just hooks in right in there just like the original. I'll lift up on the rear bumper area. And now I'm going to pull out the foot. Has that little die-cast armature assembly. I'll bring the wheel down just to free up some space. Open that up and bring the knee out. Oh, well, the whole leg. The leg has a small tab and slot right here. You just click that into place. Can't really see it, but it's there. And let's see here. So I'm going to bring the wheel all the way down. I'm going to bring the heel spur down so the flat of it is alongside the flat of that slot. And we'll close that up. Bring out the toe, bring back the heel. And then you've got a slot here for this tab. Bring this panel forward, get it tabbed in. There we go. And then for this, you bend it at that joint there and just push it up so it's against the back of the calf. And that is pretty much one leg done. We'll do the other side next, and then we'll take care of the hips. So, lift up on this, bring the foot out, bring the wheel down, heel spur down, this connecting link up, tab that in, toe up, heel up, separate that. Here you can see the tab. That's going to go into the back of the knee. There we go. Bring this around again, tab and slot. And then fold this up and in. And there we go. All right. Now we'll take this, we'll give it a rotate. Actually, before we do that, because it's going to block these pieces, lift up on these. And we're going to lock the torso in place. So you've got a port and a slot for this post and that tab. and is what I found is I'll basically hold it right about here, give or take, under the pelvis and then on the fixed part of the shoulders, so that I can compress it down while I'm getting these tabbed in. There's one side. If you need to, you can move these front pieces just a little bit, just get these past them. And there we go. And just give them one more squeeze, make sure they're good, because you want that tab to be in the slot, which I know my lighting cannot pick it up, but it is there. Okay, and now we'll just rotate these around. And these, you can leave them on the side, you can rotate them in, kind of however you wish. And now it's just some finishing touches. So back here, you'll take these, tab and slot, just tab those in. And then once you do that, as far as the back here, you can kind of angle things a little bit. You can angle the doors down, you can angle them just a little bit more up than straight. I mean, not a lot. You can also fold the wheels and doors in a little bit if you want them to be more spread back. All right. And then go ahead and open up this side panel and flip around the hand. And then when you close it, you've got the two slots right here in the wrist for these two tabs. You just give that a nice squeeze, and there you go. And it would be the exact same on this one, but as long as we're already here, if you want to attach the blaster, you just open up that shield piece. Go ahead and close this up. This is the bottom. And then you see you've got these two slots right here. The armor is going to tab into those. So now this is where I don't know if all of them did this or if it's just my copy, but you can see I've got it closed together right now. And then you think, okay, it's together, but as soon as I put this on, lining it up, you line up the round part with the joint here. That's why I say it does have an actual bottom and top. You press it on, you tab it in, and then look, it wants to come apart. Yeah, I don't know about that. That is, oh, of course, bring out his collar pieces. And I'll go ahead and open up his other hand so I can show you that articulation when we get there. And there we go. That is MPM-3 40th anniversary version of Bumblebee. And here, in fact, let's just take a good look at him. So, I'm gonna actually zoom in a little bit. Okay. So there he is. He does have the light piping in the back of his head. But, of course, with no light behind him, he just looks like a metal skeleton face. Kind of creepy. Kind of cool. He's got the painted Autobot logo on his forehead. And all the yellow, orange, is still painted. A lot of the silver is painted. Like, you can see a clear difference. Paint, cast. All this silver, little bits of gold, license plate, all painted. So he is... You know, all this yellow detail, the yellow shoulders, like, he's roughly like 98% painted, right? And then you have these side pieces, those are cast. These side shin pieces, those are cast. And then down here, like his heels, this piece, you know, a lot of his feet are cast. That's all. But you've got unpainted die cast, the toes are die cast with some paint. And then the shins, all the body panels. And then again, you got some paint back here, and then a lot of just cast stuff. You got some good detail on his arm here. So, overall, pretty good. I know that there are third-party knockoff versions of this guy available that I don't know how they are in terms of articulation, paint quality, build quality, any of that. I don't have any of them, so I can't really say. All I can say is that this guy, for right about $100, yeah, I thought it was worth picking up since I never had the original. So, As long as I've got his blaster on, I'll show you he does have his battle mask, of course. You just open his forehead, it comes out on a little armature, close that up, and there you go. Which, why does it look off center? Okay, kind of was. But there you go, there's his battle mask. Kind of an odd way of doing it, but, you know, it gets the job done, I suppose. I'm not likely going to be using it. And then let's see, his head goes down that far, goes up that far, no wiggle waggle at all, and he does have a rotate. It's because he got a weird neck design. He's got a screw for his neck joint, and then this whole piece just rotates with him. Kind of odd. Shoulders, it's like a soft, it's like a thoop, kind of, but they do 360. There is that joint, which will get, yeah, up that far, and then if you want to use this other inner joint, you kind of can. You just got to watch this shoulder armor piece. You get up a little bit higher. You do have a elbow rotate. Single jointed elbow gets you to 90. You have a full wrist rotate. No wrist in and out because it's locked by the armor piece. If you wanted to unlock it, then you could get a little bit in and out with it. Thumb is on 2 pins, but no rotate, so that's all you get. And then the fingers, you got the bottom 2 on 2 pins, and the top one on 2 pins by itself. So that's what you got going on there. He does have a waist rotate, but no crunch of any kind. He's got ratchets up to there, back to there, and then I'll move this armor piece and let's see, that's as far until he collides. I think if I move that back, yeah, there we go. That's as far as he'll go before his actual hip interferes with itself, the molded spring here. He does have a thigh rotate. Single jointed elbow, knee, gets you pretty much to 90 degrees. It's pretty close. Foot will rock in, no out, and then it will swivel up and down a little bit, and then you got to be careful of this. If you're okay with disconnecting this, which could cause some looseness, then you can get the foot up much more forward or back. But like I said, that does mean you have to disconnect this, so it's kind of cheating, and also you're going to lose some stability there. And then, like I said before, with the wings, yeah, you can move those around a little bit as you want. You don't have a whole lot, but just enough that it should be fine. Okay, and we'll do a couple of size comparisons to finish this off here. So here is that G1 MP21 Bumblebee. So key comes up to about its waist. Here is the Transcraft Beetle, the clean version. So right about the same height. Just funny because movie to movie, I'm sure he's supposed to be a lot smaller than he is. And then finally the Brave Troop Toys Rise of the Beast B. And that actually, I mean, he is way too bulky, and he's still a little bit too tall for him. But, I mean, still, I feel like that's about the right height that he should be. So, there you go. So, final thoughts on this guy. Man, this has been a quick review, hasn't it? Really, if you liked the MPM-3 mold, then you're going to like this mold. It's just better paint. If you did not like the MPM-3 mold, then you're not going to like this one because it's the same mold. So, you know, I'm not going to I mean, I like it. I think it's good. I get it. He's got a giant backpack, and it's not the most movie accurate either, but it works. You know, it works. And generally, I know what kind of quality I'm getting with Takara versus some unknown third parties that I know have made their version of this MPM-3 mold. Plus, he was easier to find than a lot of those. So, I mean, overall, I'm happy with it. Can I really recommend him? If if you didn't have the MPM-3 mold and you wanted one, well, I mean, here you go. It's not as cheap as a KO, but at least it does have the nice paint. But if you didn't like that mold, then yeah, there's nothing new here. Not gonna like it. So, or if you already have that mold, I really don't know if the premium paint is enough to warrant a upgrade. I don't know if it even really would be an upgrade just for paint. I guess it would, right? I mean, it's better paint, that's for sure. So, but that also means if you're the kind who likes to transform your figures a lot and play with them, more risk of paint chipping and scrapes, because now it is painted. So, you know, ups and downs, right? Ups and downs. Overall, I like him. I think he's a good figure, and I'm glad to finally have a 2007 movie Bumblebee. So until someone like maybe Unique Toys comes along and does a better one, you know, I'm happy to have one. And since I generally do one character per my collection, this is it. My Bumblebee is done for this movie, you know? I mean, now I've got a G1, a Bumblebee movie, a Rise of the Beast, and a 2007 Beast. So if another one's going to come out to make me replace this one, it'd better be, like, amazingly perfect, amazingly well done. So, but anyway, that's all I got on this guy. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I got a lot of stuff on pre-order, so it'll be getting busy for me here in a couple of months. All right, see you next time.